My name is Casio Batiste. For some of y'all that know me by that, and also Sharif Jahi. Tonight is called the Youth Speak Out. And our purpose for this program is actually to bring young people out, to let you all hear what the young people's story, survivors, and also young people that is working in the community. And we want to work and get young people motivated into doing activist work. It's from outrage to action.
Why you speak out? Why not an elder speak out? Why not just survivors speak out? What we felt is that if you look at movements, you know that young people are a central focus to any movement that's been created, right? We're asking survivors of the hurricane that are young people, and youth is being defined as under 30, to share, some of y'all didn't know y'all was still young, to share their stories and to also give testimony around why it's important that young people get involved in this movement. And when we say this movement, we're talking about organizing people who were disproportionately impacted by the hurricane to create a collective base that's gonna target government as well as other elected officials to say that we the people are making decisions on our own behalf. And so although some of us in here are working on behalf of the people, we're asking as many survivors to come to this conference and invite your friends who you know that have also survived the hurricane to say, come out, listen. As survivors, we want to make a point to talk about education, employment, reconstruction, our right to return, relief efforts, and all of those things in line there. And in addition to that, we want to create a political piece where we start to talk about why were people left for the amount of time that they were left. And before that, why did New Orleans look like it did in the first place? Historically, if you talk about the slave trade, people know that New Orleans was the worst place to go when you was going on the auction block as a black person, right?
How young people can stay informed and be aware of their surroundings and what's going on around them. Knowledge is power. This is one of the most famous quotes of all time. It is short and to the point, but it holds so much meaning. Yet it seems to be the most overlooked quote. Knowledge is the key to interpreting the past. It is the key to understanding the present, and it is the key to preparing for the future. If one does not know his past, he is bound to repeat it. Therefore, to ensure that this does not occur, people must be informed.
A quote that I want to say that it is not our mission to see through each other, but it is our mission to see each other through. If we stick together and see each other through, then we will get through anything.
Hurricane Katrina and Rita have exposed this country to what it really is. It is a white settler colonial empire that doesn't give a damn about New African, indigenous, and poor people. We need to take this opportunity of this man-made disaster to re-educate our people, many of whom have been fooled by the American dream. We must also use this opportunity to organize in order for our people to attain justice, retribution, and reparations. And if we can successfully organize these millions of people, then we will have built one of the most powerful mass organizations in the U.S. empire. To speak specifically about the organization that I'm in, Malcolm X Grassroots Movement, we are focusing on 1, building Survivor Council to work on organizing in Jackson, Atlanta, Oakland, and New York. 2, developing a reconstruction plan for the Gulf Coast region. 3, fundraising to support the organizing work of Duke People's Hurricane Relief Fund and Mississippi Disaster Relief Coalition. 4, helping to organize an international tribunal to hold the U.S. government responsible for its crime in the Gulf. If people want to get involved in organizing, you can contact the Malcolm X Grassroots Movement at area code 601-353-4455. Thank you.
And one thing we gotta understand, we won't get that on CNN, C-SPAN. They don't show us that type of stuff. You know, they show us where you have people. Oh, I don't see it being no problem. So they don't show us the real stories. So that's the purpose we're here tonight. We want to hear the real stories from the people that was there.
My name is Geneva Russell. I'm a survivor from the Lower 9, if I said in the 8th Ward. Okay, I have a mother. She was 78 years old. I survived. I had all of my grandkids in the house. At the time of the storm, there was no rain that Sunday when we left, when we was at our home. We woke up that morning. I had all my grandchildren. The kitchen was flooded with water. You understand? Then I had a neighbor next door. His house was flooded, but the Lord let us get through it. I had a mom. I had to try to get out. I had grandchildren. They're running through the house screaming and hollering. No one helped us to get out that house. The Lord fixed it so I got my grandchildren and my mom out there. We had cell phones. We called. Nobody came. They had a neighbor around the corner. He came, helped us. They had a man on the roof. He was hollering. He wanted to get off the roof. Nobody came. They took my grandchildren, my mama out the house. They left us in the house, in the stone. They said they was coming back for us. They never came back. If the man from around the corner wouldn't have came, got us, we would have never survived. I had a grandbaby that was a year old. No food, no water, no diapers. But did they care? No. They didn't care about nobody. If they cared, if the mayor, the president, the governor would have cared, they would have had reservations for all of us in here. We would have had our own houses. We didn't have to beg FEMA, Red Cross for nothing. We worked just like anybody else worked. We wouldn't have had to lay on no bridge, no shoes, no socks, no clothes, just a pair of pants and a shirt. I slept for 3 nights on the bridge. 3 nights, no food, no water. I had to sleep on the bridge. Then I had to walk with no shoes on to the Superdome in the water. Pregnant people walked in the Superdome in the water. The prisoners, they're just like us. Then the people with guns telling a 9-month lady, you gotta survive, you gotta walk in the water or have your baby wherever you have it. That's what they told in the Superdome. And then they said in the Superdome that we were surviving, we slept on floors, on boxes, cardboard boxes. You had elderly people. You go in the bathroom, you think you're using a bathroom, somebody fall dead on you. Then you have to carry your parents up the steps. You gotta pay grown men to carry parents up steps. Then you get army food, you eating army food. Little bitty children cannot survive off of army food. Our word gonna count tonight up in here. Children, grown-ups, our word counts tonight to FEMA and the Red Cross. We got to get it. And I pray everybody stick together. My name is Geneva Russell.
We got to beware of the media. We know, particularly brothers, we know how the media portrays us.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And so we know that everything they say about black men is not true, right? We know that all black men don't, well, the media say, well, black men don't take care of their children. We know that there are some black men, and we know there are some white men that don't take care of their children, right? So we have to be careful. Not only the paper and the TV, we gotta also look at what we listen to.
That's right.
Listen, if you get up early in the morning and listen to, I don't want to say white radio stations, but these so-called conservative radio stations, and actually I think you all should get up early in the morning and listen to the conservative radio station, because they is actually telling us what they're thinking. But when I'm speaking of conservative, those white boys that well, no, when I say white boys, that include Colin Powell. Now, don't get it twisted, that include him too. And also that includes Condoleezza Rice. You know, So we're not gonna let the Negroes get away with it either now. That's right. Because some of them are working against us just as well as the white boys.